Hello, guys. You're welcome to DJ Charlie Sports World. I'm still your homeboy, DJ Charlie. I'm here once again. So, right now, I'm back with my top 10 contenders to win this 2026 edition of the World Cup, which is being hosted by United States of America, Canada, and Mexico, the three North American neighbors. So, please, you are going to bear with me. I'm going to use my notes. So, because I'm going to talk about the countries, I'm going to count down from 10 down to number one. Then I'm going to talk about the country. I'm going to talk about their key players and also why I think they are contenders. So, honorable mention goes to the team that missed out of the top 10. It goes to Belgium. Of course, the Belgium's golden generation are over. Let me put it that way because the likes of Eden Hazard, Vincent Company, they are gone. Company is the current coach of Bayern Munich. So the only player that I see lasting from that golden generation of players that flattered to deceive us is Kevin De Bruyne, and of course I think I will include Romelu Lukaku because he's been one of the most prolific strikers for his country in the last 12 years. So for me, Kevin is old. He plies his trade in Napoli now. I don't see him doing anything spectacular in this World Cup. Maybe an assist or two or thereabouts. Of course, there are young talents growing up there. You have the likes of Shaz, the Telecare is the striker. Of course, you have the likes of Jeremy Doku playing his trade for Man City, the Mercurial winger, one of the best left wingers in the world. And of course, you have Trossard, who is also one of the key players for Arsenal. Don't let me use key player. It's just one of the average players that Arsenal has that they need to improve upon. So for me, those are the three key players that Belgium has, including De Bruyne. I will put him as the fourth because he's old now, but I still think he's one of the best playmakers in Europe. So, but they missed out of the top 10. So let me start the top 10 countdown right now. At number 10, I have Norway. Norway is number 10. Some people might find it too low for them. Some people may think higher of them. Of course, I love that team, of course, because they have the best striker in the world in Erling Haaland there. But unfortunately for Haaland, he cannot do it all. He still has the likes of Nusa. He still has the likes of Arsenal captain Martin Odegaard to help him. Of course, he has the likes of Atletico Madrid Solot to help him. You understand? And of course, he has the likes of Oscar Bob to help him, but they don't have world class defenders and midfielders. They are just stacked at the attacking midfield and striker positions. So for me, they are going to flatter to deceive. Of course, they might make the second round or even make the quarterfinal, but I don't see them going further than that. So that's my number 10. Then at number 9, I have the Netherlands. That's Dutch. That's Holland. Of course, they are widely regarded as the best country to never win the World Cup, at least the best European country to never win the World Cup. So for me, they don't have enough to win the World Cup right now. You saw them already drag out a 2-2 draw with relative minus Japan. I'm not underrating Japan, but if you are a contender for the World Cup, you just have to win that match. And they scored 2 goals and they withdrew back into their shells and let Japan equalize in the 90 something minutes to draw that match. So for me, they don't have enough. Of course, they have key players like Virgil van Dijk, who is still one of the best central backs in the world. Of course, Julian Tiba missed out due to injury. That is going to affect them a lot. But of course, his deputy, then Fred Dumfries, who recently signed for Real Madrid, will be there to help block the damage that Julian Timber's absence will cause. Of course, you have the likes of Van der Ven. They are stacked in the defensive line. You have the likes of Van der Ven. You have the likes of Nathan Ake, who cannot even start. Their back line is solid. They have I think you have Bournemouth Van Enke, who Tottenham are trying to sign. He's also a good central back. And in the midfield, they have players. They have the likes of Bakas, Frankie de Jong. They have Gravenberch, who plays his trade in Liverpool. He was excellent 2 seasons ago when Liverpool won the Premier League. And of course, you have the likes of backups for them, Quentin Timber. You have the likes of Dorun. And then in the front line, you have Cody Gakpo. Of course, you have Somerville, who just relegated with West Ham, but he's one of the best young Mercurial wingers in Europe. And of course, strike at the striker position. That's the issue that I have with them. They don't have a striker because they are trying to use Memphis Depay and also Don Malen at striker position, which is not going to work well for them. So, if I'm going to talk about their key players, I'll probably talk of Frankie De Jong and Virgil van Dijk. They are hinging their entire tournament on those two guys. So for me, I see them maxing out at the second round. I don't even see them going to the quarterfinal. I still see Norway going to the quarterfinal, but why I have Netherlands ahead of Norway is because of their World Cup pedigree. Norway are just babies in World Cup level. So that's the only reason why they are above Norway. So for me, at number 8, I have Morocco, the darlings of Africa, the current best team in Africa, the top ranked team in Africa, and then of course they lost the African Nations Cup final to Senegal, but it has been given back to them due to some technical lities, because I think Senegal feeded a player who Senegal were their players left the pitch, and so they are defaulted 3 goals to nothing by CAF. Of course, that case is still in the court of arbitration for sports, but let's not talk about that. So for me, Morocco are going to be hinging their fortune to the likes of Ashraf Hakimi, who is one of the best players in world football bar position. For me, he's one of the 10 best players in the whole world. The way he has, I don't know, he's Mario. All the men we know what I'm talking about. He's never tired. He's never rattled. For me, he's Mario. So for me, he's one of the best players in the world, and he's going to drag them as much as he can. For me, they are not going to make the semi-final like they did in the last edition of the World Cup, which they eventually lost to they eventually lost that World Cup to that semi-final to France in the last World Cup. So I don't see them reaching the semi-final this time around. I see them reaching at least the quarter-final. They are that good. Look at how they dominated Brazil in their group stage match. Of course, Brazil were lucky to escape with a 1-1 draw, courtesy of the individual brilliance goal from Vinicius Junior. So for me, they are the 8th ranked team in those World Cup. And then at number 7, I have Germany. Of course, Germany are one of the best teams in the history of the World Cup. If I were to pick another team after Brazil in the history of World Cup, Germany are the next for me. They are 4 times winners, just one behind Brazil, who has 5 World Cups. They are 4 times winners along with Italy. They are both 4-time winners. But of course, Italy are not here and Germany are here. Why they are this low is because they are also going through a rebuild, because some of their key players have retired, the likes of Toni Kroos, and of course you have Manuel Neuer is very old now. He's over 40. Of course you have, and he's playing in his 5th World Cup. You have the likes of Joshua Kimmich playing in his 4th World Cup. So those are veteran players that are still key. But for me, they are the 7th best ranked team. I don't see them being better than the 7th best ranked team because of the teams that are ahead of them. Of course, their key players include Havertz, who plays his streak in for Arsenal in England, and is a serious big game goal scorer. He scores in the big game. Of course, he has scored in 2 Champions League finals, and he's still their starting striker. Then you have the likes of youngsters, Florian Wirtz, who flattered to deceive for Liverpool. He had a distinctly average season at best for Liverpool this year, in fact, below average for Liverpool after securing a massive over 100 million transfer to Liverpool. Then you have the likes of Musiala. Of course, Jamal Musiala is one of the best young players in the world on 100% form, but right now he's not 100%. He's still trying to find his legs after being out for majority of this season. You have the likes of midfielders, like I said, Joshua Kimmich, their goalkeeper Manuel Neuer, and of course you have big central backs like Jonathan Tah. I don't know why they are benching Rudiger. I think Rudiger is okay. He's like 34 years, so they prefer Schlotterback to him, the massive left-footed big central back that scored already in the World Cup against Curacao when they defeated Curacao 7 goals to 1. Already Havertz has already scored twice in this World Cup. So for me, Germany is number 7. Then at number 6, I have Brazil. And the only reason why Brazil is number 6 for me is even because of Carlo Ancelotti, who is the best coach in the World Cup by far, bar none. The best coach in the World Cup. Of course, you don't have Pep Guardiola in the World Cup. You don't have Jose Mourinho in the World Cup. There's no Jurgen Klopp in the World Cup. And there's no Alonso in the World Cup. There's no Fabregas. There's no Arteta in the World Cup. So for me, Ancelotti is hands down. Even if those guys were at the World Cup, it's only Pep Guardiola that can even be mentioned in the same stratosphere as Carlo Ancelotti. For me, he's one of the best coaches in the history of football. He's a Mercurial Syria winner for me. So for me, Brazil are the 6th best. Of course, they don't have a recognized top striker right now. They are using the big Brentford striker Thiago, who had a good season in the Premier League, but I don't see him continuing that form for Brentford. I think he was just lucky this season. And he's only playing his start against Morocco was just his 4th cap for Brazil. You can see how relatively inexperienced he is for almost a 30-year-old at the World Cup. I don't see him taking them far. So for me, their fortune is inched on Vinicius Junior on the left wing and also Rafinha on the right wing. For me, I would have preferred to use Rafinha as a number 10 and put another winger. Estaval, if he wasn't injured, he would have been starting for me as the right wing. But I would still prefer this young Bournemouth winger, Ryan, there. Instead of using Paqueta, who is now in Saudi Arabia as the number 10. I don't know what Ancelotti is doing about that, but of course, he knows better than me. So I'm sorry to question him, but I'm just saying my own. So, and in the midfield, Casemiro has lost his legs. He had an average season for Manchester United. Okay, let me say from January, he had a below average season for Manchester United, but I think Manchester United season was because of Bruno Fernandes' brilliance. So I don't that midfield is so okay. Partnering with Bruno Guimaraes in the midfield, that is a below average midfield at contender level for World Cup. Do you understand? They are good, but to be a contender, you need to be better than that in the World Cup. I know what I'm saying. Brazilian midfields of old, these guys cannot even get near there. They're near the best Brazilian midfields of course, Casemiro would have gotten there, but of course he's 34 years above. He's old. Now he's going to Inter Miami to join Lionel Messi in America. So for me, their key players, Gabriel at the back, still Marquinhos is still one of the best central backs, that's why being 35 years old. Gabriel is one of the best central backs in the world, if not the best. And of course, you have Vinicius Junior and you have Rafinha, but I don't see that being enough to win the World Cup. I'm sorry. So for me, they are number 6. So let me stop at this number 6 so that in the next episode I will continue from the top 5. You know how massive that's going to be. Check out for the next episode so that you don't miss out on my top 5 best contenders for the World Cup in America, Canada, and Mexico. Thank you so much for bearing with me. I don't want to cross the 15 minutes mark for this episode, but please, I've started. Don't forsake me. Don't leave me. I beg. Don't leave me. Do not leave me. Don't say Nigeria is not in this World Cup, so you are going to forfeit this World Cup. You are not going to have anything to do with this World Cup. Don't leave me hanging. Like, subscribe, share to your friends and family. Any football lover that you know, any sport lover, any sport fan that you know, share to them. Let them join my community so that we can battle it out in the comment section. Let's banter. Arsenal fans, Chelsea fans, Manchester United, Real Madrid, Ala Madrid, all of you guys. I love you guys. Let us banter in the comment section so that you tell me other things that you want me to talk about regarding this World Cup special. Thanks and God bless.